creek. Walk 'em up and down in the summer heat. Same old boy changing like the seasons. Country kid turning to a town right heathen. Country kid turning to a town right heathen.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Old Man Van Running. Here again in the Old Man Van Cave, the Old Man Van Castle. So today I'm finally going to give you my review of the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4. This is the update to the Endorphin Pro Series. You know I love the Endorphin Pro 3, right? Got my Boston qualifier in that shoe, got half marathon, 5K, 10K PRs in it. Great shoe, and I was really interested and really psyched to see whether the Endorphin Pro 4 kind of raised the bar in that series. I know it's been a while, right? I bought this shoe prior to the New York City Half Marathon. Very first run was the New York City Half Marathon back in March. And then I raced this shoe in the Boston Marathon. It's been a very busy month since. Old Man Van turned 61, my daughter turned 22, and my daughter also graduated from college yesterday. So I've been very busy getting back into training as well. So it's taken me a little while to kind of get myself organized so I could start doing these videos again. So finally I'm getting to it. So let's get right into the details. First, the numbers. Price. The Endorphin Pro 4 comes in right at $224.95 or $225 US. That is a great price. It's the same price as the Endorphin Pro 3. It's on the lower end of the super duper carbon fiber racing shoes, so excellent price right there. Moving on to weight. Weight is a little heavier than the Endorphin Pro 3. It's 7.7 ounces in a men's size 9 or 218 grams. And for women, it's 6.5 ounces. And that I think comes out to, let me see here, 184 grams in a women's size 8. So it's a little bit heavier than the Endorphin Pro 3. Not a ton. And the question really is, does the performance of this shoe make up for the little bit of extra weight? On to stack height. The Endorphin Pro 4 comes in at 40 millimeters in the rear foot, 32 millimeters in the forefoot, for a heel-to-toe drop of 8 millimeters. That's almost the same as the Endorphin Pro 3. The Endorphin Pro 3, I believe, was 39.5 in the rear foot, 31.5 in the forefoot, same 8 millimeter drop. So pretty much no difference there. So I really don't think that has much to do with the weight increase. Now let's get into the construction of the shoe. First of all, the upper. This is what Saucony calls their race-ready upper. It's an engineered mesh here. It's got a little bit of an overlay here, not too much. It's a little bit rough on the outside, but I'm going to tell you, it feels fine. I didn't have any problem wearing this shoe right out of the box in a half marathon. Didn't get any hot spots at all. There's more room in the forefoot here, so that helps. And it's just a nice pliable upper. No issues whatsoever. Moving around the side of the shoe, again, you just have the Saucony logo here, which is a little bit of an overlay. You also have a little bit of a swoop up here of some material that's kind of like an overlay, but not a lot of additional material there to add structure to the shoe. Around the back in the heel counter, pretty soft. There is a little bit of a solid piece in here, so a little bit of structure right there, but pretty soft. Not too much of an Achilles flare here. Not a lot of structure there, but this is a race shoe and actually has a little more than some of the other ones. Heel and ankle collar have some padding on there. They're not minimalistic. There is some padding there. I think you can see that. And it's very comfortable around the ankle, around the heel. No heel rub, no ankle rub whatsoever. Very comfortable there. A little more than some of the other shoes have, but you know, if that adds a little bit of extra weight, the comfort is really important. The tongue's kind of interesting. It's not separate, it's not gusseted. It's actually just an extension of the upper right here, as you can see. And it kind of is a little bit long. Now with the lacing itself, I like the laces. They are flat laces, right? There's not a lot of stretch in them, which is good. But it's just a little bit weird when you cinch it down. It does kind of bunch up a little bit there. And then this tongue is a little bit long. So the question is it meant to kind of, fold over the laces? Don't really know. I haven't had to do that. For me, I haven't had any issues with the lacing. Like I said, it bunches up a little over the top of the foot, but because the tongue is basically just an extension of the upper, that bunching right here, as you can kind of see, it doesn't have any like edges that cause an issue. So I'm able to kind of manage it, and I haven't had too many problems. I don't get too much pressure over the top of my foot, which is really good. I mean, it's not the most padded. It's not really padded at all, this tongue, but there is a little bit of material there that kind of acts as padding. So just an interesting lacing pattern on here. I'm not having any problems, but I know other reviewers have said that, they have some issues with it. Onto the midsole. Big slab of Power Run PB with a layer of Power Run HG kind of sandwiched in between the Power Run PB and the sock liner. I don't know what that really is doing. I didn't really notice a difference or much of a difference from the Endorphin Pro 3, so I think this next half marathon will really help kind of firm up for me how this shoe performs, or this midsole performs, versus the Endorphin Pro 3. That being said, it's comfortable, it's soft, plenty of cushioning there. I didn't feel it was too firm at all, and it's got this nice sculpted look. It's pretty wide, like I mentioned. It's got a real wide base, so it's got a little bit of a cutout over here, which maybe to save a little bit of weight. This orange material here is also the Power Run PB, just a different colorway there. Pretty wide in the forefoot, right? So it's got a nice wide flare and a pretty just wide base from back to front. For the outsole, we've got the tried and true XT900 rubber, and you can see here, this has a lot of coverage, especially in the forefoot of that rubber. And that rubber, it's not too soft. It really does feel like it's going to wear very well. And, you've got some right here in the strategic locations, in the heel area. I'm not really concerned with the wear in the shoe. Even after a half marathon and a full marathon, there is still exposed outsole material right here, and I still have enough in here. So I think this is going to be pretty durable for a carbon fiber racing shoe. And maybe that rubber compound is a little bit heavier, and since they put a little bit more on it, maybe that's contributing to the slight additional weight. But I like the fact that it's there. It's got very good traction, no issues in wet or dry conditions, no issues at all. So I think a really good job with the outsole. Now for stability. This is a very stable neutral racing shoe. It's more stable than the Endorphin Pro 3, which was a very stable shoe. Very wide base, as you see here in the rear foot, wide flare in the forefoot, wide rear foot all the way through the midfoot and the forefoot. Very, very stable base there. You do have sidewalls on the lateral side and the medial side, which lends some structure there or some stability without having to have any other structural elements to add stability. Also with that, you've got the full-length carbon fiber plate, which starts from the back up here and then goes down towards the forefoot. That all helps keep this shoe very, very stable. Performance-wise, the jury's still out for me. As I mentioned, I wore this shoe in the New York City Half Marathon back in March. I was running that race as a training run, so I only ran a 1:43. I wasn't trying to get a PR or anything like that. The shoe was comfortable right out of the box. It felt smooth right out of the box. It did feel bouncy right out of the box. I just don't know if it was as responsive as the Endorphin Pro 3. Then I ran the Boston Marathon in the shoe, and as you know, I struggled the second half. I was on the struggle bus, pretty much walking, running, shuffling along the second half. So really not a good race to really understand how good this shoe is for the marathon distance. Comfort-wise, there was no issue. Cushioning-wise, there was no issue. But I just wish I had a better race to give you a better perspective on its performance. So on June 1st, I'm going to be defending my age group title at the Yukon Health Half Marathon on Iron Horse up in Simsbury, Connecticut. And I plan on wearing the Endorphin Pro 4. In that race, I will be going to A, defend my title, and B, get a sub 140 half marathon. So I think that's going to be the perfect race to really get that final performance perspective on this shoe. That being said, it's very smooth. As you see the bevel here, It rolls through very nicely through the forefoot. You've got the speed roll technology, that rocker in the forefoot. It's very comfortable. It's stiff, but it doesn't feel too stiff on the foot because of that rocker motion. And again, it's very stable. It's wide in the midfoot. So it really gives you a nice smooth roll through, and you do have that rocker sensation. If your heel's striking a lot, it maybe isn't as responsive as if you hit the midfoot and then go through. But I think I really need this race in June to give me the best comparison between the Endorphin Pro 3 and the Endorphin Pro 4. Comfort, no issues there. Like I said, the forefoot's a little bit wider. It's true to size. No issues. I was able to wear it right out of the box in a half marathon with no issues whatsoever. No hot spots, no blisters. Lockdown was good. No heel slippage. Like I said, heel and ankle collar has enough padding there. Comfortable enough. Didn't have any problem with the lacing, although some folks have. Very, very comfortable right out of the box. Real good step-in feel. Plenty of cushioning. All of that. Just a really comfortable shoe. Value? Value's outstanding as well, right? $225 US. Kind of on the low end of super duper carbon fiber racing shoes. Right aligned with the Endorphin Pro 3. Same price as the previous version. Just a really good value in a carbon fiber racing shoe. As long as the performance is there, this would be a no-brainer at this price point. What adds to the value of the Endorphin Pro 4 is I think you can also use it as kind of an up-tempo training shoe. I think the midsole will hold up, and I think that outsole will hold up so that, you know, it's not a one-and-done race shoe that you race a marathon and then you got to toss it in the trash. So I think you should be able to get maybe 300-400 miles out of this shoe, which at this price point, being able to race in it, having a carbon fiber plate is outstanding. So no individual ratings today in the categories. I'm going to do that after my next race, but I will give it an overall rating. So I gave the Endorphin Pro 3 a 9.75. I just absolutely love that shoe. But for this shoe, after 2 races, I'm going to give it a 9.4 out of 10. So why have I rated this shoe so much lower than the Endorphin Pro 3? Only because I haven't had the race that I need to give it an adequate comparison. What I do have are 2 races to go by, neither of which was all out, neither of which was really putting this shoe through its full paces. So after next month's half marathon, I will come back and update the rating on this shoe. Who knows? Maybe it will approach the Endorphin Pro 3, maybe it won't. Stay tuned and you'll find out. So there you have my first review of the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4. Sorry it's taken so long, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll get notified when more videos are posted. Comments, any and all comments always help my channel. And as always, if you have friends, running pals, acquaintances, family members that you think may enjoy the Old Man Van Running channel, please let them know. So thanks again for watching this video, and as always, lace up those shoes and let's get out on the roads.
Railroad tracks run along the creek, walk 'em up and down in the summer heat. Same old boy changing like the seasons, country kid turning to a town right heathen. Country kid turning to a town